What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. Appreciate you for joining our live show each and every single day. We truly, truly appreciate that. I'm just getting some stuff going here. Appreciate you for diving in. Make sure you put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. Up, Foot's Big. Good to see you. What is up, Miss P in the house? What is up, Miss P in the building? Good to see you. Robert Road in the chat early. Good to see you. He says, unless Rodgers is more than a 1 year plan, they will draft a quarterback in the first round next year. Quite possible. Absolutely. I will say this, though. Omar Khan is excited about the possibility of Will Howard and his work ethic thus far, what he's been able to do here so far in his short time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that has been encouraging, at least on Omar Khan's end, and he's excited with the possibility of what a Will Howard could potentially bring. Will Howard's working and learning, and that's the thing. He's not causing waves. He's working hard. You don't really hear anything crazy about him. You don't hear anything of it all. And when he is brought up, it's just the hard work. They're impressed with what he's been able to do so far. It's all positive things. And coming from the general manager, coming from the head coach, those are encouraging things when you're looking at Will Howard, especially with the draft class in totality of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025, the Caleb Johnsons, the Jack Sawyers, the Derek Harmons, the Y.A. Blacks. I think the depth of the Steelers' 2025 draft class is already starting to show here early in training camp in 2025. The physical specimen of Caleb Johnson. He looks like a sheer freak out there, just chiseled. So you're looking at this, and then you add the cherry on top, the sixth round pick, Will Howard. Could the Steelers quite possibly have hit a home run with Will Howard? Time will tell, and I'm not anointing him in any way, but it's very encouraging. Very, very encouraging. And who better to learn from than one of the best to ever do it? One of the best to sling the ball around the yard, in Aaron Rodgers. So that's encouraging. Not to mention a great mentor in Mason Rudolph, a guy that definitely is fundamentally sound in terms of what he does on the football field, but yet is very, very sound as a human, as a man out off the football field. And I think those are all great things for Will Howard to be around. So definitely really encouraging so far for young Will Howard. And that is the big thing I'm taking away from this. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. I must have had a little piece of hair or something there. But yeah, that's super encouraging. And I'm very excited with what Omar Khan has spoken about thus far about Will Howard. Another Wombat in the house. What's up? Daniel Warman in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Nick Winters in the house. Good to see Matt. Robert Rowe, they will draft a quarterback next year no matter what. I don't know if that's the case. I think time will tell, Robert. I think it's a possibility, absolutely. And I think right now, as it looks, if you're looking at Aaron Rodgers' as a 1 year plan, no doubt you are going to do that if you're the Steelers, as it sits right now. But we don't have that crystal ball just yet to say, how is Will Howard going to develop, out on that practice field each and every day throughout the season, to where does he impress the coaching staff enough, the front office staff enough in what he's able to do? Does by some weird chance, and I hope this doesn't happen because it means the Steelers have experienced some catastrophic injuries, but maybe perhaps you see Will Howard in 2025. I think that's the real way, sadly, that Will Howard could solidify that spot and prove it. But it's going to be really, really hard to tell right now. As it looks right now, yeah, I would say they would draft a quarterback in 2026. But as it sits right now, too, there's tons of things that could happen. There's tons of roads that could be traveled by Will Howard and the Steelers, and the potential for Will Howard to maybe show that he is the guy is still there. And I think that that's going to play a major key factor in all of this, no doubt about it. Steve Winters in the house. What's up, Jace? Always a pleasure, my friend. Hope all is well. Thank you, man. I love that you had that they had Joey Porter saying is going to be hard facing. Yes, absolutely, Steve. I agree. That was a big one, man. I thought that was a cool thing for Joey Porter to put the NFL on notice that there is going to be some scary, scary players back there. Darius Slay ain't done. The man just played on a Super Bowl winning team, was a major contributor throughout that year, just for the Philadelphia Eagles last season. So I'm nowhere ready to write off Darius Slay. You look at Jalen Ramsey, a guy that, let's be real, nobody throws at. He's a big hitter, a guy that's going to come and be able to play all over the place. And we're going to talk about that and what Jalen did today up in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and the versatility that he is providing already. And it's exactly what the Steelers planned. Um, but everybody looks good right now. It's the time of paper champions. But I am taking away some of the positives that you can get out of football in shorts and helmet. Some of the things that I can notice: the speed, some of the decision making of certain players, and things of that nature. Some of the technique that you're getting to witness. Those things you can start to take away from training camp. You can start to see, for instance, like the quarterback position with Aaron Rodgers, the quick release that maybe could be very beneficial to a young offensive line. He threw 3 touchdown passes today in practice with super quick release, and I mean they were just seconds. I mean quick. So you look at that and you say to yourself, man, could that be super beneficial for a young offensive line, especially early on in 2025? Are they going to be able to really benefit from Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out quickly? And Aaron's going to have the weaponry to get the ball out quickly in terms of the heavy personnel packages that they're going to be able to play, the extra blockers they're going to be able to bring in, the way they're going to be able to utilize running formations and still be able to pass out of those. We've yet to see a guy like Jonnu Smith. So the Steelers, yes, tremendous potential there, man. And I'm definitely excited about all of that. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But definitely Joey Porter Jr. out there, the monsters, the nightmare that could potentially be there for opposing offenses is a reality. Will it happen? We don't know. And it's exciting time right now to be a fan of any football team in the National Football League. Why? Because everything is looking up. Perhaps. Now, I'm not saying there isn't teams out there that they can see the deficiencies right off the bat, soon as they step into camp. Even if they're not in full gear, you can see those deficiencies early. Yeah, there are those instances, but for the most part of NFL franchises and NFL fan bases, you're getting that this is that happy period, man. So enjoy it and soak it in, and yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because the trials and tribulations that will be the 2025 NFL season will soon be upon us, no doubt. Yeah, he might, Robert. Yeah, you never know, man. It's going to be very interesting to watch. Absolutely. I'm excited to see our defense this year. Yeah, I am 2 foot big, and I say this really, really not. I don't want to anoint this defense just yet. But I got to say this, man. They're flying around with a lot of speed, uh, and their decision making is really impressive so far through 2 days. And I don't want to overstate those things and make them seem like I'm crown defense already, but you have to be excited about this defense so far, because the speed, the potential for what they can do inside of the trenches with really young talent. Derek Harmon batting 2 passes yesterday doesn't happen, my friends, very often with rookies. I gotta really, really emphasize that to you. That wasn't just, oh, it's football and shorts and a helmet. Yeah, yay, yeehaw. That takes talent, especially to block passes from a guy that can really rip the football, a guy that can really zip it around. And I know you want to talk about Aaron Rodgers and his age. I see the football coming off his hand really damn fast. So the zip is still there. The arm strength is still there. Is it what it was when he was in his 20s? Hell no. Let's be real. But yeah, it's still there at a very high level. And Derek Harmon to be able to bat those passes down, be involved like that so early, day one of training camp, has to be super exciting for you as a Steeler fan because Cameron Hayward, Keanu Benton, they did a fine job. I thought the Steelers' defensive front was not bad at all last year. I thought they were one of the better ones actually in the league, but the depth hurt them, I feel like there. I feel like they lacked a lot of depth, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to be look at one of the best defensive fronts in the National Football League, hands down. I definitely think that's going to be the case because that's really going to help this Pittsburgh Steelers team immensely. I really do believe that. And I believe that everything starts up front on both sides of the football. Offensively, defensively, it all starts there. And if you're not fundamentally sound, you don't got that depth in those places. Yeah, it could be a long season, but I think defensively, at least right now, I'm really excited about what the Steelers are bringing. Yeah, they did sign Chuck Clark. Chuck Clark spent his first 6 seasons with the hated Baltimore Ravens. I believe he started about 105, 108 games off the top of my head, Danny. But yes, you are right. They did sign Chuck Clark. The last 2 seasons, I believe, were spent with the New York Jets. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is all off the top of my head, so I apologize if I say anything wrong about Chuck Clark. But I like the addition, adding yet another defensive back that can cover, that has played an immense amount of games, that has that NFL experience, that veteran leadership that he can bring into that building, into those rooms. And I'm excited about that. And depth is something I always love to see being added. And you look at a guy like Chuck Clark, a guy that can start, a guy that can do everything you need him to do. And that's exciting, especially when you look at the secondary of the Steelers right now and what potentially they could do. And you see right now what they're doing in camp. Day 2 of camp, you're already seeing guys like Jalen Ramsey moving around, doing exactly what the Steelers brought him in to do. And that is exciting. He's not being limited and caged into a box. He is being what he kind of was when he playing, let's just say where when he was playing with the Rams, how the Rams and what their coaching staff, I think it was Raheem Morris out there at that time. I can't remember, but anyway, but what they did with that secondary and what they did with Ramsey in particular, they allowed him to play all over their place. And that is exactly how you use Jalen Ramsey. You can't cage him into one spot. Why? Because teams just simply go away from him. The bad thing for opposing offenses and the good thing for the Steelers is what are your choices? Are you going to throw at a guy in Joey Porter Jr. that's given up 1 touchdown in 33 games? Are you going to throw at a guy like Darius Slay that has been an all pro, a guy that has just been lights out, just won a Super Bowl last year in 2024? Yeah, every player's had their trials and tribulations on the field, but Darius Slay has been a steady Eddie, baby. And I don't know. Pick your poison. Are you going to throw out there deep into the back half where there's a guy like a Deshaun Elliott back there, Thornhill? There's tons of players all over this defense that I don't want to just go after. And that, I think, is going to be the special part of this defense. You're going to be able to apply pressure with the edge guys and TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. You're going to be able to push up the middle with guys like Harmon, Hayward, Wye, Benton. You're going to be able to do that with those guys, young, fresh legs, being able to be very versatile up front. I think the Steelers defensively have so many chess pieces. And yes, it's one of the highest paid, but I think it's going to be the best, probably. I don't want to jinx it, man, but I think they have the potential to be a top 3 defense, hands down, if not number 1. I really, truly believe that. Now, barring health. Health is the big one, guys. There's a lot of variables at this, so we'll see. Huge ass. Can't wait to see Caleb Johnson, Harmon, and Roman Wilson in the preseason. Yeah, I'm excited for a lot too, man. I can't wait to see a lot of them. Miss Pittsburgh, the Steelers are going to come out and show out these and fasten your seatbelts. We are in for a big ride. I love it, Miss P. Definitely, man. What's up, Mark Collins in the house? Good to see you. Just says, Jace says, hope Will Howard can be the starter in a few years. Potentially, it's there. What's up, Tom Ford in the house? Tom Ford ain't no party like a Diddy party. Says, how have you been, Jason, and everybody else in chat? Good, man. Good to see you, Tom. I just saw a message from you, Tom. I answered it back, and we're actually going to look into that here on the show. I did save your graphic and I loaded it in. So just what you had put, and we're going to review that on the show. I'm going to make myself a note, but I did load it in there. We're going to talk about the statistics of Mike Tomlin and should Mike Tomlin be on the hot seat? I believe so. I believe it to be now. I believe Mike Tomlin has to be under some sort of heat. I mean, I don't know how you continue to let this go. If you're the franchise, I get it. Loyalty, I love it. I love the loyalty, but we'll see. Me and my wife are going to training camp next Saturday. Hee haw. Oh man, next might be there, Danny. We might be there at the same time, buddy. I can see Will Howard starting in a few years. That's from Tom. Foot's big. Only 15 days until Steelers play the Jagoffs. Say, hey, man, can't wait. Let me get a drink. Robert's comments up on the screen. Robert says quarterbacks are so valuable that smart teams draft quarterbacks most years as you need the depth, known cost for the position, and then valuable trade pieces. Absolutely. I think where the question comes in, Robert, is where you draft them. Do you have enough confidence in what you have in that building to okay not drafting a quarterback in rounds 1 through 3? I think that's your money picks. Those are your big ones, and I think that's the thing. When will you draft them? Like for instance, this year when Will Howard was drafted in round 6. I think the Steelers liked him more than any other team in the National Football League, and they were just waiting, hoping, and praying that they could continue to fill and add depth pieces and add needs that they had throughout that front part of the draft. And they were hoping and praying, and it worked out for them that teams would be scared off as Will Howard continued to fall down the draft boards, like they did with Shador Sanders. As players continue to be there round after round, teams tend to back away because especially dumb general managers that don't do their homework properly, that aren't in tune to some of this shit. They're just following trends. They're following the leader. So if somebody's out there, they don't do their homework as much as maybe they should, or maybe they don't have the feel for it. I don't know what the answer is there, but again, they're playing follow the leader, and if somebody starts to fall, maybe it falls into the hands of some other team that did their homework on that player. You look at Steelers; they met with Will Howard a ton. They liked Will Howard. They spoke with Will Howard a ton during the pre-draft process. And now you look at what it seems to be is that they got a guy that they really, really like and that they think can really do some nice things. So Robert's right, no doubt. Quarterback's always a position that you get because why? Even if you get a guy in rounds 4 through 7, just say they have a good game, they get a spot, or they do something pretty decent inside of the preseason to where it's exciting and it creates a little bit of buzz around them. All of a sudden, their value increases dramatically. So now, maybe, possibly, you could get a return on investment if you decide that they ain't going to be your guy, if you brought in somebody else that you like better. So, yes, absolutely. And I think that goes for any position group that you could see value in the long term. I think you get those players always in the draft, at least one or two of them. Why? Because they hold those valuable assets, that return on investment that you could potentially get, when needed most. So those are nice players to definitely have, man, and that's definitely the business part of this. Of this game, and general managers really got to be aware of those things. Uh, QJ says defense will still suck against the run. They get pushed around against good teams. I think you're absolutely dead wrong, Jace. And sorry, I thought your name was something different. I don't know why they show up different on the screen, but anyway, you know who I'm talking to. But I think you're wrong there. I think the Steelers are going to be tremendous against the run. I think Cam Hayward can play the run pretty well. He just gets bogged down when playing 99% of the snaps, it feels like, anyway. I'm not sure what the exact statistic is. But the Steelers are going to have something they haven't had, and that is depth, man. They have 13 players along the defensive front that are vying for position, trench guys that are vying for position. And I believe the depth is going to be absolutely tremendous. And I believe the force and the pressure that they are going to be able to generate up the middle of opposing offenses is going to be really valuable for them. And I think it's going to cause mass chaos. I believe they're going to be able to crash into those gaps. And I believe they are going to be able to push plays into the hands of the defensive playmakers like TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, guys that can make those splash plays, guys that can make those forced fumbles happen. I believe that they're going to force teams into being one dimensional. So I believe playing the run, I don't think that's going to be a real problem for them this year. I think they have enough depth all over the place. And if you're talking about the box players, so I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the defensive backs that they have the ability to come down and help play the run also. Deshaun Elliott has proved that. Jalen Ramsey's a hitter. Joey Porter Jr., yeah, I feel like he's gotten better as a tackler in his time so far in the league. So I don't know. I feel like all around that they're going to be okay there. I can see why you say that because of last season they got gashed at times late in the year. Absolutely, they did, and there's no excuse for that. But if I look at it, I can say that there are some issues that I think that they worked to correct this offseason. So I think the potential is there. I don't think the defense is going to suck. I don't think they sucked last year. I just think they got beat up, man, and wore down toward the end. I just think they showed they ran out of gas kind of deal. That's kind of what it looked like to me. When you had no real help from your offense, it's hard to sustain being a quality defense. And I believe also that they're going to have a tremendous amount of help from their offense this year. I think that the ability for the Steelers to utilize those three tight end sets is something the fan base is overlooking tremendously. I believe that those three tight ends could put the Steelers in position offensively that they're going to really have a solid average in time of possession. I believe that they're going to be able to score the football. I believe that they're going to be able to be versatile. And I think that that is going to trickle down naturally to the defense and keep them off the field and allow them to be fresh and allow them to be fresh far into the season. So I look for this to be a vastly different Steelers team in 2025. I really, really do. Foreman Omar Khan has put an all-star roster together. Now the pressure is on Mike Tomlin to make a run in the playoffs. Do you think Tomlin's job is on the line this year if expectations are not met? That's from Daniel Warman. Well, Daniel, let's bring up a graphic that sent to me. We'll bring it up and let everybody see Mike Tomlin. Let me get a little bit closer because I didn't write it down. Mike Tomlin, 18 seasons. 14 out of those 18 seasons, he has either missed the playoffs or failed to win a playoff game. Seven one and dones in the playoffs. Seven times missed the playoffs. Only won a playoff game or more in 08, 2010, 2015, and 2016. So only in 4 seasons has he won a playoff game or more in a playoffs. 5 playoff wins since 2008. That's horrible, in my opinion. 3 since 2011. Makes it even sound worse, guys. This is 2025. Mike Tomlin has won 3 playoff games since 2011. 8 consecutive seasons without a playoff win. That the reason why TJ Watt has never won a playoff game. And he has been here all this time and has never got to taste a playoff victory. And then you look, that hasn't happened since 64 to 71 and 71. That's kind of crazy, guys. So look at the Mike Tomlin statistics there. And definitely take those in because that Mike Tomlin stuff there is absolutely crazy. When you look at Mike Tomlin and what he's done, he has to be held accountable, and I think there has to start to be a fire under his ass in terms of his job. I do, and I am all on board with what the Steelers do in terms of how they are loyal to their coaches, players. I'm all about that. I think loyalty is awesome. I love it. But I think there becomes a time where you get a little bit too loyal, overly loyal, and I think the Steelers have hit that spot thus right now with Mike Tomlin, and I think like Daniel asked, are those expectations going to cost Mike Tomlin his job if they're not met this season? I don't think it costs him his job per se next year, but I really think with what Omar Khan and company and Mike's part of this, Andy Weidel, I believe with what they have put together here in 2025, I think the potential Steelers to be really good here over the next several seasons is there. I do believe it to be there. The quarterback being the X factor, no doubt, but we'll see. But you look at the defense, you look at the players around this roster, they should win a playoff game. And I don't think it should just be, oh, we got to win a playoff game. I think that expectation, that ship sailed a long time ago. Let's just get a playoff win. It's now come to them of like, look, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to start winning, man. You can't just get your ass beat every year in the first round or miss the playoffs. That can't be our mo here as the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think Mike Tomlin has to be accountable. I'm sorry, he has gross mismanagement in game. He does. He absolutely does. I think he's mishandled the roster at times in terms of starting players over other players when he shouldn't have, or leaving players on the bench when he shouldn't have. I truly believe Mike Tomlin has a lot of things that he needs to own, definitely. But Mike Tomlin's biggest thing here in 2025, and I think what keeps Mike Tomlin employed long term with the Steelers is his willingness to change. You have Arthur Smith, who, whether you want to believe it as a Steelers fan or not, is one of the better offensive minds in the National Football League for sure. That's truth. You can believe me if you want. I don't care. I know it to be true. And then you look at Terrell Austin, a guy that's been known for a more of a blitzing type, a more of a pressure type defense. Mike Tomlin's got to allow Terrell to do those things. You hired him, you brought him in, trust him to do it. And I think Mike Tomlin's ability to change this offseason, and they're not monster changes, they're just allowing coaches to do their job a bit more, I think can save Mike Tomlin's career and get him back into the winning ways in the playoffs. That's what I think. So we'll see what happens, but I think the expectations are higher than just winning one playoff game. And I think Mike Tomlin should be on the hot seat. I think Mike Tomlin should be let go or nudged out of the building if this continues, if this drought of non-playoff or playoff winless streak, you continue this. I think he should be pushed out the door a little bit. Sorry, guys, I'm stuttering over my words a little bit. Let's go to the next comment. All right, guys, make sure you like, share, follow. Go hit us up on TikTok, X, and Facebook. We are on all those platforms. Also, here on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We have a good video going over there now that's got like 40,000 views or over 40,000 views on TikTok. That was our first one to ever reach that milestone. So we're kind of excited for that we're growing a little bit on that platform. So that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, my timeless job is never on the line. You're talking about Mike Tomlin? Oh, Mike Tomlin's job is never on the line. Okay, I see your next comment. Okay, yeah. I think it's got to be soon, though, Tom, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Hugh says, Harmon is going to be great, and Caleb Johnson, too. Rest of the draft picks, not too sure. Oh, yeah, time will tell, man. Excuse me, wave that terrible towel for Miss P. We appreciate it. Still Life here says, let's be real. This team isn't winning a playoff game, and even if they do, they aren't going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, that's your own opinion. You're allowed that, man. I'm not going to sit here, though, in the best part of the offseason and the most in a time where, as a fan, you should be really excited because honestly, this is a good roster. Whether you want to be the negative Nancy or not, that's up to you. And you're entitled to that. You're allowed to do that. But I truly believe this is a solid roster. I really do, and that's no bullshit because I don't bullshit you guys. I tell you the truth. I tell you when they're going to be bad, when I think they're going to be bad, and it is what it is. But right now, I think the Steelers have tremendous potential. And on paper, I believe it, looks good. And from what I'm seeing in 2 days up at Latrobe, I'm encouraged. I'm not saying that it's a slam dunk. They're going to do something great, but I'm encouraged with what I'm seeing. I don't see a lot of negatives so far. There haven't been a ton of injuries. There haven't been a ton of drama. There hasn't been just a ton of distractions. They get T.J. Watt signed. Every reporter up there asking every player, did you think TJ Watt's deal was going to get done? What dumb shit, dude. I'm still upset about that. Like that move in day, those interviews, those questions that they should be ashamed of themselves. I'm sorry, ashamed. I would be embarrassed to ask those questions. Yeah, yeah, he's a defensive back, no doubt. I don't remember which one he is, man, strong or free. I don't know which one he plays. And this defense here, Tom, in 2025 for the Steelers, they're just looking for guys that can catch balls. That's really what they're looking for. They're looking for guys that can get out there and cover people. They don't give a shit about position. They're not even caring about that right now. It's just a collection of talent and I think that's how you have to attack it. Because, like we brought up yesterday, guys, they play everything sub package football. Uh, Nothing's in base sets. It doesn't matter what the position is. Can you play this job? Can we give you this assignment and can you handle it? That's the question. It's not about what position you play at all. And that's something though. I think as fans we need to get in tune to a little bit more. And Tom wasn't saying that. I'm just saying that in general. Tom was just asking if he was a strong safety. But I'm just saying that as a in general thing. That's all the Steelers are looking for right now. Hey, wall, bang, bang, Steeler gang in the house. Yo, Mike Drop, what's up, man? Good to see you. Still Life says, I would have rather had Justin Simmons. Not me, man. Not me. I'd rather have Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey. I'd rather have the rest of the guys that we got. Justin Simmons, there must be a reason that he's out there. Maybe he wants too much money for what he brings to the table right now. I don't know. I'm just saying. I haven't done enough research on him, but I like what the Steelers have done. Would Justin Simmons be a welcome addition? Sure. Hell yeah. But for what they've done so far, I'm into it, man. Yeah, I got you, bro. Rubber Road. I am interested to see how Logan Lee does this year. The fact that they didn't cut him slash injury settlement slash practice squad tells you that they see a future with the team for him. I believe you're right there. I think Logan Lee does have tremendous potential. And that's what I was talking about when I said there's 13 players vying for position. If you look at the training camp roster, you look at what the Steelers got out there, now that's going to fluctuate and change so much. So it's going to be really hard to keep track of as player movement happens a ton during training camp. But the versatility of guys like a Logan Lee, the tremendous potential of guys like him brings a lot of joy if you're a fan because that's the depth I'm talking about. They do see some good things in a lot of players they brought in and along those defensive front guys. And Logan Lee, man, definitely, I think there's potential there. This talk to text, it's all right, man. We always decipher it, Tom. We got you, bro. Dude is a beast in the low. I like Chuck Clark. Uh, Lee is not a starter. He's a backup and just that. You don't know that, though. You don't know that. How much have you seen the guy play? Minimal. So we don't know. There's potential there. We just don't know. We don't got crystal balls. Uh, this is the NFL, man, and things change real quick. So I'm not going to write anybody off. And again, still life, you're allowed to. That's your opinion, and you are entitled to your opinion. But my opinion, I'm going to give you. is I'm not going to be super down on a bunch of people just right now because I need to see more, and that goes for the whole roster. I need to see more. We're in day 2 of training camp. You look at Logan Lee, he's just not been there now long enough to write him off just yet. And you don't need starter out of him. You don't need that backup and spot guy that comes in situations. That's perfect. That would be perfect. The Steelers don't need that type of stuff. Look at the depth they got across there. They need guys that are backup type guys that can come in and still play. That's what you're looking for. You got your studs up front right now. Huge ass forever. Steelers got ran over in the last 5 games. That is on Tomlin. 0 playoff wins in the last 10 years. Yeah, that is on Tomlin, but it's all players too. But definitely Tomlin got to take a lot of that blame, no doubt. AWOL, bang, bang, Steeler gang. All we need is another veteran wide receiver. I don't know if you do. I really don't. I mean, I think they will get one. I really do. I believe that they will. But I don't think it's a necessity, and that's why they haven't went out there and made any crazy deals. Because it's not a have to thing for them. It really isn't, guys. Because I think you look at Pat Fryermuth, Jonnu Smith, you look at the potential in Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. You look at all across the board there. There's weaponry, and again, I think they can make do. Would it be ideal? Probably not. But hey, you got Woods. You got players, man. You got players that can deal with it. You don't got that 1A though, like DK and like you would have had with Pickens. Pickens is a tremendous talent, but he's a fucking head case. So you had to part ways with him. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think it's got to be the right deal. I don't think the Steelers are out there make any foolish deals. Yeah, I think so too. Value in the backup is perfect. Steelers are old and slow on defense, man. I mean, if that's what you say, that's fine. We'll see how it goes. We'll just wait for the end of the year and see how it goes. That's all we can do. Still life is just kind of watch it play out, and that's the beauty of it. That's the fun of it. Tom Ford says, "I agree with still life. I'd also rather have Justin Simmons." That's from Tom. Captain, who plays more safety? I think it's just going to be a bunch of different people. Just mix it up. I think you'll see Ramsey a lot back there. AWOL says, "Why do Colin Coward hate? Why does I don't know? He's a douchebag. I think he's an idiot. But that's just me. I only gets paid so much money to speak crazy shit." Who plays more snaps this year, Ramsey or Slay? I think they play pretty damn comparable amount of snaps. I don't think it'll be one more than the other to where it's going to be such a dramatic difference. Sleeping lady in the house, forcing turnovers is what we do on D. If we get offense working and keep up the turnovers, this team will light it up. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Excited, sleeping lady. Let's talk a little bit about what you could have seen at camp today. If any news came out in terms of what they were doing up there. Player wise, you look at Aaron Rodgers, quick release up there, throwing quick touchdowns today, 3 of them really, really quick, fitting the ball into tight spaces, showing you exactly why people like me are saying that he still has that arm and he still has that zip because he does. And I get it. People are going to say he's old and he can't throw the ball no more. That's bullshit. I would say maybe the mobility is a lot more limited than it was, but as far as arm strength, he still has elite arm talent, and that's just the way it is. You can't argue it. I mean, it's right in front of your faces. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely that's going to, in my eyes, help the Steelers' young offensive line because they do lack depth there at the young offensive line spot or the offensive line spots. The offensive line is young. You already have Siamalu with a soft tissue injury. That shouldn't be any issue moving toward the season. He should be fully healthy, but still, they do lack some depth there. So you would like to see the Steelers keep that offensive line building confidence and clean early. You want to see them early in the season running the football effectively, build that confidence, allowing the run game to work, utilizing those heavy personnel packages. You want to see them early in the season getting Aaron Rodgers and letting him get the ball out super quick. And that's going to help that offensive line continue to grow, get them through the middle of the season, and then start to add more and more and more and more to their plate as things go. But I think you need to be protective if you're Mike Tomlin of that offensive line in the early goings of 2025. And I know it's hard to do that because the offensive line is just in the war, man, in the battle. But you got to do your best. Again, quick, getting the ball out of there quick, not asking them to block forever and a day. And I think Aaron Rodgers can definitely protect them in that manner. But he looks amazing in terms of zip on the football, so I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the young O line. One thing I do have a little bit of worry still, and I need to see more, and I'm really anxious for the pads to come on, and that's from Broderick Jones is a guy that has to take that step this year. He has all the physical attributes. He has all the looks of a left tackle, a franchise cornerstone left tackle, but he has to get it done. He has to get this done this season. He's lost a tremendous amount of weight, looks more athletic. Definitely hoping that we see a better Broderick Jones in year three. We saw a good Broderick Jones in year one, not great, but good. And we saw bad Broderick Jones in year two. So he's going to be the X factor along that offensive line, in my opinion. But what slows Broderick, man? And I said it before this offseason. I believe it's a lot of technique. I think Broderick Jones relies on brute strength a little bit too much. He needs to learn how to hold his block a little bit longer. And I think that comes to the technique portion of everything. So I'm really excited to see if he's corrected some of those things. But as of right now, it's an unknown variable, man. And the Steelers are going to let him play all 17 games if he remains healthy at left tackle. They're not going to bench him. They drafted him far too high. They have to see this year if that's their guy because they're going to have to dip back in and get their franchise left tackle if he's not. So it's a big year for Broderick Jones. Really a payday year if you think about it. He has to really solidify himself and get things moving. Also, you look at the defensive side of the football. The defense just really simply, in my eyes, for what you could say about them right now, they look fast. And I think that's exciting. I think that they have a ton of chess pieces to move around. People want to call them old, fine, but they look damn fast for old guys. So I'll take that because being fast on defense is very, very important. So I will take that. You look at guys that they've brought in over this offseason. I think one guy that you need to watch as a fan that could potentially be really, really good for theirs is their cornerback four, and that is Brendan Eccles. Um, a guy that I think can do really big things. So far in camp, he looks like he's flying around a little bit. I'm anxious to see when pads come on what he can do, but he's another versatile chess piece, inside out type player. And I truly believe that he's a player that you guys need to watch because I think he can be a contributor and a spot starter if there's injury, things of that nature. But I think you'll see a lot of Eccles, and I think you'll see a lot of the four cornerback packages, believe it or not. I think you'll see a lot of Clay, Eccles, Porter, and Ramsey out there. I think you will see a ton of that topped off with a Deshaun Elliott. I really do think you'll see a lot of that package out there in passing situations, and I think the Steelers will benefit from it because those are a good group of guys to have out there covering. Man, no, I think I got a splinter, and it's bugging the shit out of me, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get that bad boy out. It's right here in my palm, like my edge of my palm, and I keep hitting it. All right, we've been going for about 44 minutes. If you haven't liked the show, make sure you hit that like button, however you got to do it on your device. Some of you may have to double tap it. Some of you may have to just go in and click it normal. Whatever you got to do, hit the like button here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And we truly, truly appreciate that, man. Again, we started to hit that stride on TikTok, so hopefully that'll start to blow up. Maybe we'll get to 50,000 views on our video by the time we get back off of here. That'll be pretty cool. That'll be my first video on there to get that high. I think our highest view count was like almost 6,000 before that. So it's exciting to grow and watch it grow. So if you haven't followed us over there, make sure you do if you have it. All right, we're going to answer a couple more questions. I'm just going to mix them up, guys. You guys have been loading up the chat. I really, truly appreciate that. We have a ton of time this off season, so forgive me if I miss any questions here tonight or comments. But I'm going to take a few here, and then we're going to get off here. Let's keep going. Robert Road, Philly gave a huge contract to Wentz and drafted Hurts in the second round. If you like the player, i.e., best player available, I don't disagree with that. I mean, you could, yeah. And again, you have to like the player, and that's what I was saying. Do you like that player good enough that you would take them in rounds 1 through 3? Those are your money picks, you know? There's a lot of variables that come into play there. Do you have somebody already in that position you're comfortable with that you can't afford to burn that pick and get somebody that you already have? I think there's a lot of variables at play, no doubt, but I would be okay with it. If the right guy is there, you take him, Robert. And I'm always been a firm believer in that. So yeah, regardless if you have a player there, if the right guy is there, do it. I'm down. I would not be mad about it. Rod Young, I'm worried about the depth of our O line, but besides that, the best I've seen in some time. Yeah, I agree, Rod. I definitely think this is a deep football team in a lot of areas. I think the offensive line lacks that. And I think a veteran, well, not even a veteran, but another 1A wide receiver wouldn't hurt. I think they could live without it, but I think it would be a very big addition and do exactly what the Steelers want to do this year, and that is be eccentric, exotic, and make. Yes, that's what they want to do. And that's the mantra of the 2025 Steelers. Keep teams guessing. Don't be so predictable. Don't be the same old Steelers that they've been. Ultra predictable, ultra conservative, never changing, never willing to adapt. And that has been Mike Tomlin's MO for the last decade. And that has to change for the Pittsburgh Steelers to be any good in 2025. And I don't care who's on the roster. If Mike Tomlin can't get out of his own way here in 2025, the Steelers are screwed no matter who they got. You could have every world class athlete, best National Football League players anywhere, a best roster out of all 32 teams. If you can't get out of your own way, if you don't have willingness to adapt, you can't overcome your in-game incompetencies. You're screwing yourself. You're screwing this franchise, and it's time to move on. What's this? He must not, don't know. We top dive defense, shaking my head. Sean Brown, I have them keeping 7 linemen. Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to keep as many as they can, no doubt about it. The depth there's got to be a concern for them. Armand Porter, number 32 last year, Pro Football Focus. He's the wild card and new scheme by the D. I think Pro Football Focus, all that stuff. I'm not into that. I look at those stats. I think they make up a bunch of shit. So um, I'm just not into it. I look at this. He's given up 1 TD in 33 games as a starter, I believe, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if my memory serves me correctly. And I'm going to go with it, and that's pretty damn good in my eyes. And I think Pro Football Focus looks at a lot of things that really don't have much relevance, you know? That's just my opinion. And I think they add all those together to get their cumulative scores. But you look, there's 2 corners on each team, 32 teams. So he's middle of the pack last year, if you're talking about cornerbacks in terms of Pro Football Focus rating. Daniel Warman, Shamar Stewart signed today. Now Trey Hendrickson needs to get on board. Did they change that, Daniel? I wonder. I got to look at that Shamar Stewart contract. I didn't know he did sign, but that was a big thing for the Bengals. They needed to get their first round draft pick Stewart signed because he has to be in camp. If you look at Shamir Stewart and what he did in college, if you're the Bengals, you love the athleticism, you love the speed, you love some of the things he can do in terms of that. He is in position a lot of the times, and that's a good thing. But they got to teach that kid how to tackle because he cannot tackle for shit. And I think missing reps is that kill him. So I'm happy that they got him in there because for that young man's sake, he needs to be getting those reps and he needs to learn how to tackle because he missed so many tackles, man. And that was the big knock on Shamir Stewart. And I was really honestly floored when they drafted him ahead of Derek Harmon. That was a big one for me. I'm like, I don't understand that. But again, I would have taken Harmon there pick, but um, it is what it is. They draft him. He's a fine athlete, phenomenal athlete, good player. He just got to get that tackle down, and if he can, he's going to be a real beast, you know. But Hendrickson got to be signed. I think they'll figure that out, in my opinion. I don't know enough about their inner workings right now with that contract, but they definitely need to get that one done. He's such a key player to that defense that doesn't have a ton of dudes. So he's lights out. Let's be honest. Hendrickson's a beast, dude. Yeah, they need to get that done. So one check off the worksheet that they needed to get done. So we'll see what happens next. Mark Collins, YA Black will dominate the line of scrimmage, 6'6", 335, double team every single down. That leaves four other defensive linemen and middle linebackers to fill holes. Yeah, in theory, it's a good one, Mark. I like it, man. I like it. Let me see. I'm going to try to get somebody that I haven't got a question for yet. There's Big Pun. We'll get Big Pun. What's up, Big Pun? I heard too many Unleash Hell Tomlin quotes to only see the same old uh, to expect anything different. I agree. I agree. There's a lot there that screams out that he's going to be the same old, same old. And I preached this all last off season, and it didn't happen. And I kept saying it. And those of you that are OGs here that have watched my show for the last couple years, you know what I've said. And I have said Mike Tomlin has to start changing this stuff. These things that I keep pointing out. It's the same things. They haven't changed. He is the one constant in the equation. Uh, and I've said it for now steady for years. It's just, will he finally do it, man? We'll see. But yeah, you're right. It's tough to expect change from a guy that's been so stubborn. All right, let's see if anybody else is in there that I missed. What's up, Jamal McCullum? If they double DK, we're screwed. I don't think so. If they double DK Metcalf, then what if you're in the DK Metcalf, Jonnu Smith, Caleb Johnson, Pat Frymuth, Darnell Washington? What if you're in that formation and you double DK Metcalf? You're leaving Jonnu Smith one-on-one, who will win those for sure because it's probably going to be a linebacker on him. Pat Fryermuth one-on-one, typically going to win those. He's pretty damn good at wide receiver and playing in a slot if you need him to. And tight end, he's just really good. Darnell Washington, big body guy, one-on-one. He's going to win every 50-50 ball if you're one-on-one with Darnell Washington because you can't match his size. Then you look at the run game. They'll be able to run the football. I don't think they're screwed. They double. I think the defense screws themselves when you double somebody in that offense, especially that offensive formation, because I don't think you're going to be able to match up well off the bat with them, especially if you have littler DBs in the game. And if the Steelers can stay in a formation or a personnel grouping like I just mentioned, if they can stay in that and be able to flex and audible and check in and out of run to pass to run, and not give the defense time to substitute or a chance to substitute, I think they can really do some big things and really wear down opposing defenses in a big way. And that's what I'm most excited for as a Steelers fan here in 2025. Mark Malone in the house. What's up? They tried to zone last year, didn't have the hoss to do it. What's up, Zah Curry? No freaking way. Yes, man. Good to see you, dude. But we are about to wrap it up. So again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We will be back again tomorrow. Um, yeah, we'll do a show tomorrow. We'll do a show sometime tomorrow. So make sure you check us out for that. So we'll do all that and get going here. I appreciate you guys so very much. You guys are absolutely amazing. So we'll definitely figure out what we're going to do tomorrow for a show and go from there. But yeah, get a little sip here. Don't forget Facebook, TikTok, Insta, YouTube, X, all those places. You can find Mike Drop Sports. And make sure you support our content by liking, sharing, and subscribing if you're not already or following. The tremendously. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And the season is just getting kicked off, and we are in full swing here at Mike Drop. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. Peace, my friends.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's